to share my screen here. If you can look at it, great. I know some of you are probably driving and everything, but let me share my screen. And I am going to share a document that I created. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Now, can I just get someone to unmute themselves and acknowledge that they can kind of see that pretty clearly? Anybody?
Sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. So, like I was saying earlier, I really wanted to kind of put together something unique instead of just, I don't know. I just wanted to kind of do something, I guess, that I haven't done before, have seen anyone else done before. So I came up with this whole ABCs of network marketing, right? Don't get mad, but I couldn't find anything for the last three letters, but I'm just going to run them off real quick, and then I'm going to kind of just talk briefly about each alphabet. All right, so A, accountability. B, belief. C, consistency. D, duplicate. E, expose. F, follow up. G, genuine. H, hunger. I, integrity. J, judgment. And I'm not talking about like judging. Well, I'll elaborate later. K is knowledge. L, leadership. M, mentorship. N, notice. O is overcome. P is persist. Q is as in question. R is to reflect. S is to sell, baby. T is time management. U is understand / understood. And V, is vision. All right. Now, I'm gonna print some hard copies off and bring them to the next meeting. Just so if you want, you can kind of just add to your notes, put it on your door, your vision board as a daily reminder or whatever the case may be. I plan to do that for myself. So ABC's network marketing, let's kind of get into it, all right? Not gonna keep everybody too long. So A, and really it's the first one, and I think it's very fitting that it is the first one, and that's accountability, right? Accountability. Understanding that the results that I have, whether I want those results or that I don't necessarily want those results, are all my own doing. Like just kind of accountability, taking extreme ownership is the best thing, the best definition as I can kind of say for accountability. Owning your results, owning your habits, owning your actions, owning your successes, owning your failures, taking accountability that whatever it is that you want to obtain in this business, you are putting it on anybody else's shoulders, or not placing the blame. It's not going to be because of your downline. You can't get your downline to commit. It's not going to be because your upline is such and such. It's not going to be because I didn't make the time, or I didn't have, whatever the case may be. Accountable, understanding that I am at this position solely because of my choices, my thoughts, my actions, and my words, and owning that, and really owning that, and starting there, and understanding that the success that I achieve in the Vertica is solely on me, solely on me. All right, it's kind of self-explanatory. B, belief. The reason we all the reason we all signed up into this business is because we saw something in this thing. And a lot of times we may not have truly believed that we can kind of get the results for some reason. And I think for us, it's kind of unique, right? And why do I say that? Is because when we are so early on in the game, there hasn't been anybody that has gone through the entire process, through the entire compensation plan, marketing plan to get to the top, right? So we don't have that example. And in a lot of cases, when people come into these companies, it's those individuals that have already kind of gone through the gauntlet of the comp plan and all the stuff that goes through with it that stands up on the stage and hey, look, it's possible. This is my story. Many of you can relate. I sucked when I first started, yada, yada, yada. But I hung in there and I really applied myself, and then things started to change, whatever the case may be. And in that case, we don't have that. It's almost kind of like the Roger Bannister story, you know. Um, for hundreds of years, it was thought to be impossible to break 4 minutes in the mile, to run faster than 4 minutes in a mile on the track, right? It was just impossible. Many have tried, and no one could have done, and no one did it for forever, for hundreds of years, until I forget the year. I want to say maybe in the 80s or the 70s. I'm sorry, but 60s or 70s or 80s. I'm not really sure. But along came this gentleman called Roger Bannister, who was the first man in the history of at least recorded time. I'm sure you probably had some people all over the world that can do that, without a track. But as far as organized stuff is concerned, he was the first person in the history of the world to break the 4-minute barrier on the mile. And then since then, thousands of people have done it. Thousands of people have freaking done it. You have kids in high school that are doing it, not just professional Olympic athletes, So belief. But we do have someone that has been very successful in this industry and has dropped every available tool and juice source and lent his strategies and his mindset to us to help us achieve the success. Understand this company, please. If you don't understand this, just take it from me or take it from me. I've been involved in network marketing for a while. This isn't my first company. I've done really, I say one other, I say two, but it wasn't that long. But I've definitely researched this industry. And my God, ladies and gentlemen, if the ones that just really kind of come through and stick this thing out, trust and believe in 5+ years, whatever the case may be, when this company goes on to become everything that it's going to be absolutely amazing. And I haven't seen too many concepts, and that's why I'm just such a believer in it. And that's why people ask me, how do you be in it for 3 years and do all this stuff and not making money? It's because I guess it's gone beyond belief. I just know this thing is going to pop. This thing is going to work. I just got to figure it out. And the longer I apply myself and stick in there, it's going to happen. I know that, So understand that belief. And if you don't do anything, don't bet against Dr. London. I believe that as well. Number C, I think this is something we all can struggle with. I know for me, this is something that I struggle with myself, and that's consistency. But it kind of goes back to what I was saying about building momentum earlier on, before the call. It's so critical. It's such a positive force that you want on your side in your business, but it takes a lot of consistency in order to get it there. Mr. Potts is always talking about the whole car analogy that he uses. When you're speeding up to like 80 miles per hour, then you take your foot off the gas, the car starts to slow down. You put your foot back on the gas, it's not back at 80 miles per hour again. It takes some effort, it takes some time to get back up to that point, right? And so we just got to figure out a way to remain consistent, do something every day, just something every day. And that kind of goes into another one of the things. But consistency is definitely the biggest key. I've noticed you don't have to be the sharpest. You ain't got to be the most articulate or have the biggest influence. The ones that win in network marketing are the ones that are the most consistent. D, duplicate. We're all in this thing for the passive income, right? Duplication just kind of means getting a lot of people to do something consistently, have the belief in themselves, and be accountable for their actions and do that every single day, and we'll get to that thousands of people thousands of people. Like I said at the beginning of this call, we didn't just kind of get in this thing to have 50 people on the team. We all wanted thousands of people. In order to get the thousands of people, we got to master the duplication process, bringing people in the right way. And I know we're still kind of in a soft launch type of phase and the application and things, and we're not all the way fully running, but we'll get there. We still need to master some other things first before that's even figured out. All right. E, expose. Expose yourself to everybody, right? Like the person running down the street in the trench coat. But that is essentially the business, exposing the information. We have, 5 different ways to do that. We have the Tuesday meetings, which I feel are the most effective and have the highest closing rate. You have the online Zoom presentations. We have the video, right? We have 2-on-1s and we have 1-on-1s. That's all. So we have like 5 ways to expose. Either one of those 5 ways, as long as we're doing it some way and doing it in a way that the person actually wants to view the information. And not just, hey, check this out, you know. But if it works, it works. But it definitely works when the person is already open to it. That's why I feel the meetings have the highest closing rate, because they're already open because they came to the freaking meeting. It's like it was their decision to consciously come to an event or meeting to hear some information about a business opportunity, right? F, follow up. That's where sometimes we fumble the ball. We can be great at exposing, which leads to duplication, the consistency and belief and accountability of all of our business partners, right? But understand, following up once or twice isn't following up. Following up once or twice isn't following up. Following up once or twice isn't following up. It's a statistic out there that says over 50% of sales folks, network marketers, direct sales individuals, I think less than 50 follow up with a prospect or a customer. Less than 50% follow up, and then even I think like 30% of all people in that category follow up one time. When it gets to 2 and 3, it just drops, right? But when you look at buying trends and statistics, is people rarely buy on the first 1 or 2 or 3 occasions. Normally the sale, quote unquote, isn't made until after the 5th, 6th, or even the 7th, or maybe sometimes even the 8th follow-up, right? But as you go through the gauntlet of salespeople, most, maybe I think less than 10%, 5% follow up to the 7th or 8th time. But when you look at the statistics in network marketing, what? Less than 10% make over, 6 figures a year. These numbers, the numbers are real. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, right? Follow up. G, being genuine. I think we're all to the point where we can smell a phony. We can kind of smell somebody that's greasy and wants something from us. Like, people have a really good, I would say, a BS meter. I think we all can kind of gauge that because we've been swamped, we've been drenched in, opportunities, scams. We look at the news, we think everybody's trying to scam us or take something from us. In many cases, they are. But, just be genuine. And if you can't be genuine, at least just be, I don't know, but genuine, actually being genuinely interested in somebody goes a long freaking way. If you're genuinely in the business, genuinely want to help folks, it definitely goes a long way in your business. Genuine. Hunger. I mean, how bad, this is how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? The opportunity is here. I was talking to Mr. Potts earlier. He was on a phone, or with a guy who wanted to invest in the company, and it wasn't just like a couple thousand or 20 or 50,000, 100,000. No, this guy wanted to throw millions of dollars at this company. He sees something. and he's not the first person of great affluence and wealth and success and business acumen has looked at this company, rubbing her hands, drooling at the chance to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Hunger. So the opportunity is there, and I know there's a lot of things that go around that can kind of take away our hunger or our desire to do this. All right, but hunger is just, what is hunger? Just willing to do whatever. Like, just think about it. If you hungry, like physically from lack of eating, right? And you go into the point where are starving, like you haven't eaten for days. What would you do to get a meal? You on the verge of starving to death. What would you do to get a cheeseburger? How many people would you ask if they had a cheeseburger to get a cheeseburger? You know what I'm saying? Integrity. This industry has gotten a bad rap because a lot of people have forgotten about this I word, integrity. It's so lucrative. Money can be made so fast that people mislead, embellish, just over exaggerate, make false claims, exaggerated claims. It's kind of giving the industry a black eye. Not really being in it for the right reasons and just misleading people for financial gain. We ain't even about that in this company. Not even about that, which kind of leads me to judgment. And Dr. London says it all the time. Like, you can kind of get a sense of who people are, fairly quickly, especially if you kind of know them. And he always says it. If they're crazy out there, they're going to be crazy out here. And although we want to give people a chance, and they deserve a freaking chance, right? They definitely do deserve a chance. We got to be leery about who we let into our business, because it can come to bite you in the butt if you have someone that just isn't healthy for the whole organization. And what do I mean by that? This is actually literally happened to me. I recruited this young lady. She was very sharp, very charismatic, great personality. I even invited her out. We were supposed to connect, but something came up. But I'm having really second thoughts of working with her, because every time we speak or every time she texts me, it's just like negative or something drama related going in her life, or like, woe is me. And I'm like, do I really want to like work with this person? Because I'm noticing a trend here. I haven't even noticed her that long, and I'm noticing a trend already, right? Okay, knowledge. Ooh, knowledge goes a long way. It's a reason why the average CEO on your Fortune 500 company reads 50 to 60 books annually. Knowledge is imperative. It just helps you. It brings credibility to you. It helps you distribute value. And when your organization is coming to you, it helps you train. It helps you understand the process that a customer goes through in their brain, and why they think that way, and how to knowledge. It's essential. If you're not reading, if you're not learning, you're not growing in your business. Bottom line. Leadership. Leadership. At some point, you want to get to thousands of people. You're going to have to develop yourself into a leader. Can't rely on just, Mr. Potts or your upline to kind of do at some point, you got to step into that limelight. You got to step into that role. You got to start, training your own folks, and doing and conducting presentations and organizing events and stuff like that, and taking the team out of town. Eventually, you're gonna have to get to that point. Don't shy away from that. Don't shy away from that. Everyone on this call has the opportunity to be a leader. Just step into that role. Learn what leaders do, which brings me to the next one: mentorship. Find yourself some mentors in Novetica. If they're in another company, I know our good partner, my Mr. Jameson, he talks to Ramasio Fulcher. He has conversations with Ramasio Fulcher. That's one of his mentors outside of the business. He has two outstanding mentors that he can contact. One being Dr. London, one being Ramasio Fulcher. I have mentors that I've never meet. Hopefully, I will meet most of them. I plan on to it, but outside, in the business and outside of Mr. Potts and Dr. London and even some of my downline. I consider them some of my mentors in other areas as well. Mentorship, constantly learning and taking whatever it is that they have that makes them successful, whatever pieces that you can get and applying it to you and make your own hodgepodge, right? Now, notice. I put notice because I was going to say like observant, but I want to do something else. So don't get mad at me. So notice means like it just helps to be aware, to kind of notice a person. Like when you out prospecting and sometimes it's not to the point where it's second nature. You can kind of do a look over of somebody. Notice what they have on. Notice their accessories. Notice their, whatever they have that kind of is unique to them. And then use that as your prospecting, icebreaker or your tool. If they have on a college shirt or hat, ask them, what are the outlooks of this year's football team or whatever the case may be. Or if they have some unique fingernails, like I've never seen those. Where did you get those done? It look like they cost a fortune. Whatever the case may be, notice things and use whatever that you notice to be your icebreaker to start a conversation. Overcome. Oh, all right, and that's just that can be a couple of different things, right? Number one, it can be overcoming objections or challenges or false thoughts about the business or the product, or even overcoming what they think they know, right? Overcoming, and when you overcome that, that just kind of goes back to kind of knowledge, just kind of knowing what to say and how to pivot and understanding why they say that thing and overcoming objections. But another thing is just kind of overcoming even life's challenges, man. It ain't gonna stop. Look, even if we wasn't doing the Vertica, it'll be stuff, man. Life is gonna happen. Things are gonna be thrown at us, even if we're not doing the Vertica. Whether we are a Vertica Pet consultant or we are a Black Diamond, things are gonna continually to happen. But it's the ones, and look, and trust me, knowing this from kind of building an organization and talking to a lot of people over the years, everybody's going through something. Everybody is going through something. It seems like everybody thinks theirs is greater than the next person's. Everybody's going through something. The ones that continue to push and work the bits despite are the ones that stand on top of the podium, all right? P, that just kind of goes back to persist, and that can be. Good night. Yeah, good night, Mama. Kiss you. All right. And that can be, where was that at? Persist. Just be persistent. A lot of times when we get an objection or we get told no, we get told come back, we kind of stop right there. I remember we just did a apartment deal, a pet party at an apartment. Beautiful, brand new luxury apartment in, I think, Alexandria, Virginia. We have been working on getting in that door for, I think, over a year. Like we went in there initially, met with the project manager, and at that point we hadn't launched, right? But we were supposed to in, I think that July. So we went in there, and then that didn't happen, and then we didn't launch until, when we launched, and then finally, and then it was a new project manager, so we had to reestablish, all of that. But it was a success. It was hold on 1 second. So it definitely pays to be persistent. Some of your prospects, it may take them a week, a month, maybe even a couple of years before they get into your business. But it just kind of that's just when you have a system of follow up. That's the persistent part, and people will notice that. And the longer and I have people tell me, I've watched you over the years, and some people have fizzled out, but you've actually gotten strong, and now they take that as damn serious. And are willing to join somebody like that, right? Question. I was talking to one of my business partners the other day, and I was kind of just telling them, questions are the answer. That's how you kind of figure out what a person's hot buttons are, what are they missing, what do they need, what are their thoughts process, and stuff like that. But you can't get into the point where you're just asking question after question after question after question after question like it's an interrogation or an interview, because people will even say, hey, this sounds like an interview. He even told me he was doing that, and the young lady says, this sounds like an interview. Can we stop talking? You know what I'm saying? But what was I going to go with that? But questions definitely help you uncover things. And the way that you do it is when you ask a question, definitely use whatever they say to ask the next question, but just don't do it in rapid succession. Whatever they say, to break it up, like, hey, I definitely understand, I can relate, or whatever the case may be, or on your own, whatever the conversation is going. But just don't ask question after question, and you kind of give nothing of yourself as well. Does that make sense? All right. Reflect. Now, after every encounter, after every sale, every day, every week, every month, it's always good to reflect. What could I have done differently in that situation? What could I have said differently? And it helps to do that with your plan as well. This week, okay, what was my goal? Did I hit my goal? Yes. Did I exceed my goal? No. Whatever the case may be, it just kind of help reflect, and it helps prepare us for the next thing when we kind of see what we did, what we could have did, just kind of be analytical a little bit, just kind of help break things. Okay, what have I done? All right, next time I can try this. Next week, I'll go here, whatever the case may be. At the next vendor opportunity, hey, let's do this, right? So they're always good to, decompress, break things down so you can, see, where you maybe left some holes, or, you had a presentation, but you forgot to say this type of thing, all right? And number S, sell. Selling is a skill, I ain't gonna lie, it's a skill, it's an art, but just like everything we ever done in life, it can be learned. And to me, I think we have a phenomenal teacher in the art of selling in Mr. Potts. The man's been doing it professionally for 14 years. I remember when I was in sales, me and him used to kick it at the Verizon Center and talk about the selling industry, and he's still going on and still and doing very well for himself in it. So it can be learned, and I'm just learning. I'm still trying to figure it out how the process it goes myself, but it's just going back to asking the right kind of questions, probing a little bit, and then using what they say to offer a solution or something. T, time management. All right, time management. There's 24 hours a day. We all have the same amount of hours in a day. Use them wisely, break them down, whatever the case may be. I always say time management isn't in the hours, it's in the minutes, right? We all have 5, 15, 10 little minutes here to hop on YouTube, hear some motivational or some training from a well-established, network marketing guru, 15 minutes to hop on the phone with a customer to follow up, check your list, whatever the case may be. That's where a lot of, instead of, hopping on social media, I know that can, just think about how much time you may, just like really think about that. Use that to reflect tomorrow. Make a conscious effort to see how much time you spend just on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube, whatever, unless you're doing something of value, but just see how much time you are on social media and then calculate that throughout the day. It probably be like a couple hours. Time management. You understand/understood. When you ask questions, that's how you understand. And then you might want to make sure that you're understood, right? You ask and then you explain. You ask and then you explain. You ask and then you explain. First seek to understand, then seek to be understood. Understand where they're coming from, and then make sure they understand where you're coming from and what we have to offer, all right? That's going to help. ABC is network marketing. V is the last one, because I like to say I couldn't think of anything for XYZ. Don't get mad at me. Maybe I'll figure out something else, but V, vision, another big one, right? You really have to kind of see yourself, doing this thing and being in the leadership role and accepting or that I don't know what we're going to give at it, but when someone becomes a black diamond, a ring, a plaque, or well, I don't know what the gift is going to be, whatever the case may be, but a pen, whatever the case may be. But see yourself, standing next to Dr. London in front of tens of thousands of people getting your black diamond, celebration event. See that. Understand where you're going with this thing. Understand how many people you want in your organization. Me, I want 100,000. That's my goal. 100,000 distributors all across the world. It's going to take a lot of work. And I have to be someone capable of building and sustaining a team of 100,000 people all across the freaking world. But that's my vision, to bring as many people into that top 1% as freaking possible. All right? So there it is. That's what I got for you this evening. I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen. I will open it up for questions, feedback. Like I said, I'm gonna print some of these out and bring it to the next meeting. Just in case you want one, you can post it up on your vision board on your wall, or put it in your arsenal of tools to help build your network marketing. But if you want, feel free to unmute yourself. If you hate it, tell me you hate it. Hey, Brooks, that was the worst 30 minutes of my life. You need to go jump off a building, then unmute yourself and say that. Or if you feel otherwise, let me know. I appreciate it. But yeah, that's kind of all I have for this evening, and I'll turn it back over. Yes, sir.
How you doing? How you doing? Great call, great acronyms. I love it. You went down there.
Beast Mode.
But if I can add W, X, Y, and Z for you, I can help you out a little bit. All right. Now, W, website. That's what we doing.
Yes, sir. Please do.
Doing. Yes, sir. Website. Let's go with that. They're actually upgrading our website. They're doing what they need to do. We have to have a website in order to actually captivate people. That's what we need to do. So it have to be interesting and interactive. So that's what the W can be for your website. You can break it down however you choose. You can break it down however you want. For X, let's start with X. X, location, location, location. X marks the spot. So do understand that. That plays a critical role in our business. Where we go, we have to choose the right location. Don't keep switching. Go back, and go back. Why people have to get used to you. People have to get used to seeing you when you're doing these events. Don't think you can just jump around. Stay at that location. X mark the spot. Now, why? Yes. Now, understand this. From reflecting with your great attitude and being persistent, like Mr. Brooks said during the course of his call, great call again, being persistent in your pursuit of sales, along with the word and however you present whatever you have to present. So that'll bring your yeses. Great attitude brings your yeses. And Z, great way to end this thing. People, you got to have zeal. People who are only in business for money, they will crash and burn all day long. But I'm trying to tell you, to achieve your success, you must have true zeal in your business. You must believe in your products, your services, and your customer service skills. You have to really have what you need to do this business. And zeal will get the work done. Mr. Brooks, I appreciate it. I thank you. That's it for me. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, great work, man. That was absolutely fantastic. I love all those. And I was looking over in the chats as well, and you guys were giving some great nuggets as well. So I definitely appreciate that. And we'll add it to the list, and we'll print it out. Thank you, Beast Mode. Yes, sir. Anybody else got anything they'd like to add or share an experience or do something like that? Jeopardy music. Jeopardy music.
Mr. Brooks.
Hey, there
How
he
you
is.
doing, sir? Hey, first and foremost, I got to say, man, phenomenal training. Phenomenal training. And if I could say it one more time, brother, to make 3 times a charm, phenomenal training.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
The ABCs of network marketing is something that's a quick hitter, right? A quick synopsis of really what this business is all about. Everything, every ingredient that you need to incorporate in your day-to-day activity, right, is encompassed within this list, of things. And then wrapping it up with Mr. Williams, Beast Mode, with giving the remaining letters and the meetings and the ingredients of building this masterpiece that we're all trying to to accomplish, right? We're all trying to put this thing together, right? We're all trying to connect the dots. And that's the funny thing. The funny thing about business, especially a journey that you've never been on, is that you're getting all these dots, right? And you got all these dots on the paper, and you're hearing all this stuff about sales and recruiting and all these types of activity you got to do it. A lot of it is new. A lot of it is new to you, right? So they're just dots right now, and that's okay. I need you to understand one thing. That's okay. We do these trainings. We go down these lists. We give the information because we know that at some point you will begin to connect the dots. It's because once you start connecting the dots, that's when you're going to start seeing progress. But the thing is that your focus just can't get off, right? Your focus can't get off. We all started this journey for a reason, right? So when you are in the journey, right, you have to understand that the dots you're putting on that paper, as long as you stay focused, right, on what it is you're doing day in and day out and have a consistent effort being applied, you don't have to worry about things connecting. It's going to happen whether you like it or not. I really believe that if you focus on your daily activity, if you can tell me what you do every day, or if I can show you what somebody is doing every day, I can show you exactly where they are in the business. A lot of times what we lack in network marketing is not the drive. It's not the want. It's really the consistent pressure, right? That thing, that daily routine that we're doing day in and day out. We got that daily routine down packed when it comes to our jobs. We know we got to get up when the alarm clock goes off. We know we got to get dressed, right? We know we got to get in our car. We drive on the same road, right? Or if it's traffic, we may maneuver, right? And then we get to our destination. We know exactly what we got to do day in and day out at that job. You know, whether you spend an hour working or you spend 7 hours of working, but every day is very similar, right? And you know exactly what time you leave. As a matter of fact, some of y'all can leave at 5. Y'all probably trying to head to that door at 4:30. Y'all know who you are, but your routine is there, right? It's very apparent. That's the thing that you got to understand, that if you don't begin to establish that same type of routine in your business, that's why it's stagnant. Or for those that it is stagnant and you're trying to get it moving, you got to get moving with establishing a routine. And this list, these ABCs are ingredients that are supposed to be actually within your routine on a day-to-day basis. On a day-to-day basis, you know, so I really believe that once everybody begins to establish that routine, and it can't be pick and choose. That's the one thing that's going to be a challenge. And I'll be the first to say, you can't pick and choose. If you really want this business to work, you can't pick and choose which things you're going to go to and not. You can't say, oh, I'll go to this training, but I'm going to miss that training. You can't do that at work. You can't say, I'm going to pick and go to work on Tuesday, but I'm not going to go on Thursday and Friday. Right? You gotta do a certain amount of hours to make sure that you just keep your job and keep the momentum going in the right direction. The same thing applies to your business, ladies and gentlemen. The same thing applies to your business. And all we want to do is drive those dots home, right? We're driving those dots home. And so at some point, you'll begin to understand exactly how important they are, and then you can begin connecting them, right? That's when your story that you share with prospects will start getting better. That's when your consistency in coming to everything and actually plugging into your upline, into the personal development, will become better. Everything will begin to work together for the greater good, but you just got to make sure that you're focusing on, I'm telling you, that's the one thing that helped me. I was very sporadic in the beginning of this business, very much so. Y'all know me. I shoot straight from the hip. Did I call my upline every day? No. Did I go to every training? No. Mr. Brooks will tell you, back in our Audi Life days, that wasn't me. It wasn't until I believed that even though the routine I would have to establish wouldn't generate an immediate result, I had to believe in the vision of where it could take me if I just believed in doing the things day to day that the system required. That is how I begin to produce. You just got to have that same tenacity about how you approach the daily system. If in case you have forgot, let me remind everybody what you are a part of. You are a part of an organization that has done something that nobody else has ever done. You are a part of an organization that's taken advantage of an industry that is trending at the moment. People with money, tons of it, are looking to get in this industry because they see the amount of success people are having with nowhere near the creative idea that we have. We're literally bringing something to pet parents that offer value. And yes, we've had some hiccups. Technology can be fixed, but the one thing you'll never be able to take away from us is our placement within this ground floor opportunity. You can't take that away from us, or can you? See, the only person that can take away your opportunity is us, the person you stare at in the mirror. The train is going to keep moving. The journey is going to continue. This company is going to continue to expand. This company is going to generate distributors into the 10,000s and hundreds of thousands. And all we're saying, all Mr. Brooks and Mr. Williams so eloquently were saying, is that if you have, right, the will and you really want this to work, take note of those ingredients, take notes of these ABCs, and start making sure you apply it day in and day out. Mr. Brooks, I'll give it back to you. Great training, sir. Great training, sir, as well as Mr. Williams. Great job at the end, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And that's the man right there. Definitely appreciate the encouragement and the added value that you constantly and always give, brother. So thank you. Thank you. Does anybody else want to throw another layer on the cake? Anybody want to add anything else? Was everyone pretty much full? Okay. Well, awesome. Well, look, I'm not exactly sure what's going on tomorrow as far as either live or
We'll be
online
live
Zoom.
tomorrow, sir. Live.
Okay.
We'll be live
All right.
tomorrow at the Holiday Inn, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So there you have it. So we always use one platform to promote for the next one. So tomorrow, live in-person training, College Park. Bring your pad, your pencils. Mr. Privacy and Mr. Vanguard, they're always going to give value, and it's going to be exciting because we're starting to get a lot more interactive and things of that nature. So come out, really learn and get like you said, the ingredients, the nuggets, stay in the flow, the consistency, doing something, get in the habit of, actively working on your business every single day, doing something, learning how to build it, applying how to, and then applying what you're learning every single day. So with that, appreciate your time. Let's keep plugging away. Let's keep doing this. You're in this for the long haul. It's not a quick get rich quick thing. And it's funny how nobody wants to be involved in the get rich quick scheme, but when they don't get rich quick, somehow it just, they lose steam. This is a, minimum 2 to 3 year process, ladies and gentlemen. Understand that. Let's get to work. Let's become part of that small percentage that goes through the gauntlet and sticks it out and just keeps on plugging away and ultimately get the desired results that they've always been seeking. All right. Life is going to continue to happen whether you quit Novetica or you reach the mountaintop with it. It ain't going to stop rolling. So let's just keep on rolling with it. All right. Thank you for your time, and I'll see everybody soon. All right.
Thanks,
Great
sir.
job, sir. Great job, sir.
Thank you. All right, people.
Good
Thank
job.
you.